customized apps?
Yes. Today we will design a custom app. Okay. And it's very simple.
Okay.
All right. So whatever we have seen in the sales app, that is one part. So let's keep the sales app aside and let's try and create a new app today. So before we can create an app on Salesforce, I want you to understand a few components. Okay. Just understand these few components on Salesforce. First is an object, second is the field. Okay. So Salesforce has a 3-layered application. Okay, so Salesforce has 3 layers. One is model, one is view, one is controller, right? So model is the database. In the back end, view is the user interface in the front end, and controller is the set of controlling logics. So pretty simple. Okay. So Salesforce has these 3 layers. So the back end layer or the model layer has these 2 components, objects and fields. Object basically means a table, database table. Okay, so in the database, a database is formed of what? Tables. Okay, so object is a table, field is a column on the table. So, okay, so firstly we start with the backend side. So in the backend I need to have tables. So let's say I want to design an application for managing projects where I can manage projects. Okay, so I need a table for storing all the project details. Okay, so this table should be created and the fields should be created. What all information needs to be tracked for the project, all those fields should be created. Got it? Then in the front end, in the view layer, there are 2 things which we will deal with. One is tab, one is apps. Okay, I think this is something that we were discussing yesterday as well. Okay, so tab is a button to connect to an object, and app is collection of tabs. Got it? So this is it. This is what we just need. So we just need these 4 components to design an application initially, and then to customize it further and put more functionalities, we will use a few more components. But as of now, our scope is just these 4 things. So if we understand object, field, tabs and apps, that's more than enough. Okay. So we are going to create an application, and the application that we are going to design here is let's design a recruiting application. Okay, so my company HR people come to me and they tell me that, hey, you know what, we have the Salesforce app which can help us manage sales and all these things. That's absolutely fine. We are finding it very difficult to manage our recruitment thing. Can you help us design an application for recruiting? So my first question to them is, okay, fine, I can help you design that, but what all things you want to track in using that application? Like our sales application, what are we tracking? Accounts, leads, contacts, opportunities, contracts, orders, right? The same way, what all things do they want to track in the recruiting application? So that should be my first question. So what do you think this recruiting application would track? You guys tell me. What all things should be tracked in a recruiting application?
Candidates, resume,
Candidates.
skill sets.
Okay, I'll just take it as candidates. So there should be a table for candidates. Okay, one object in the backend for
our clients.
Sorry.
Our clients who want to who have a new position,
No.
and new clients.
Okay, let us make it internal recruiting. Let's not have it a recruiting company. I am talking about internal recruiting, so they will not be changed. We are hiring for our internal. Okay.
Skill set.
Okay, so let's put the skill set under candidate only as of now. We can extend it later. Apart from this, what else you think will be required? We'll design a very basic application right now. So apart from candidate, what is the other
Experience.
thing, important thing which is required?
Experience.
Okay, so experience is also something I'll put in the candidate's object. What else?
Technology on what they work, technology and everything about the data.
Okay, what else? So we are talking about one side of it. We are talking about the supply side of it. Shall we also think of the demand? The jobs, job openings, those also need to be tracked, right?
Availability. Vacancies.
Attrition.
Jobs or not attritions. Okay, jobs or vacancies, whatever. And so these two things primarily, right? So my recruiting application basically should have a table which can track all the jobs, and it should have a table which can have all the candidates listed, right? And then we will further go into this. Okay, so I think I want everyone to design this application along with me. So just log in into your developer editions, all of you. Okay, and you have to be a little more active here, because you will have to keep an eye on my screen, and you also have to do it parallelly. Okay, microphones on mute please if possible. Yeah, microphones on mute. Thank you. Okay, so first thing that we are going to do is we'll design an app. Okay, so first we'll create an app. We'll call it recruiting manager. Okay, so just follow the steps first, and then I will give you a couple of minutes to do it on your own. Okay, so for creating an app, you just need to go to setup, create apps. Okay, go to setup, create apps, click on new, custom app. This will be selected. Go to next, put a name here, give it a name called recruiting manager. Okay, so for anything that you create in Salesforce, you'll have to give a label and a name. So label is something which is visible to the end users. Name is something which is for basically you to be used in the programming and all. Okay, label can have space and any special character. Name cannot have space, special character and all that. Okay, so I call it recruiting manager. Go to next. Skip this step. This is basically where you can add an image to your app. We are not going to do it now. We just don't need this thing now. Click on next. Okay, so what have we understood about app? App is a collection of tabs, right? So on step 4, it asks you whether you want to include any existing tab into your app. I say no, I don't need. I just need a blank app. I don't want to include any of the existing tabs into it. Okay, home is by default, it will be there, so just leave it as it is. Just go to next. Okay, on step 5, don't do anything, just click on visible. What it is, how it works and all that stuff we'll work on later. We'll talk about this later, but at this point of time you should just make it visible and go and click on save. Your app is ready. Okay, so you see your recruiting app is ready. So can everyone just quickly follow the same thing? Go to setup, create, click on apps.
So I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So the app label name is like recruiting manager, and app name is what? What is that you have given over there?
I mean, if you say recruiting space manager, it will automatically take recruiting underscore manager. You can give whatever name you want. You can give it RM also. Fine.
Oh, okay.
So click on add app or
New.
I didn't find it. I clicked on setup.
Create apps.
That is great.
Create. Scroll down a little. No, not here. Scroll down a little. Scroll down.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Create apps. Then click on new app. Click on next. Call it recruiting manager. You can give whatever label and name you want. Go to next. Yes. So I think everyone is following. Just go to next. Skip this step. Here also we don't have to do anything. We can click on next. Step 5, we have to make it visible. Yeah. And then
Sir,
go to save.
which profile are you logged in, sir? Because I'm trying to log in, sir. I mean, are you in Venkata or VNP over there in your computer? Because it comes up like the custom app already exists.
Venkata, this is what VNP dot what you had yesterday that I have logged in.
Okay.
So you log in using this other thing. What is that?
Yeah, I mean,
VNKTAA.
yeah, sir, actually, I'm doing that, but I think someone is using the ID or something.
Yeah, because you shared the login ID password, someone in this session itself might be using it. Okay, no worries. You just click on the delete button, delete that app, and create it again on your own.
Yeah, yes.
All right. So done with creating the app.
Yes, sir.
Here we are. So we have successfully created an app on Salesforce. Where do we see this app? You will see it in the apps menu. There is the app menu, top right corner. So now you have designed your own app, Recruiting Manager. See? But this app has got created, there are no tabs under this. Right? So for tabs, what we'll have to do, we'll have to first of all create the objects and then create the tabs for those objects and bring those tabs here. Right? Under this, I don't want to see accounts and contacts. I want to see jobs and candidates and that sort of things, right? So the next thing that we are going to do is create the object. So anyone who has a question before I move into creating the object? We are all good.
Yes, sir, I do have.
Yeah, tell me.
So can we actually delete a customized app?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, just go ahead, sir.
Okay. So now go to setup, create object. Okay, so this time we'll go to setup, same create option. Under the create we have another thing called objects. Okay, I'm going to create an object. So object is what? A database table, right? So you click on new custom object. Again, give it a label and name. So first one is job. We'll ask for a single. Okay, just do this job, label, name, save it. Don't do anything else on this. Just click on save. Your object gets created. So object is a database table, right? So once this object gets created, it by default has some fields. These are called standard fields. Okay, these are all basically the fields for monitoring the data and all. So one is the job name, one is created by, one is last modified by, one is the owner. So these fields are by default there. Okay. Any other field apart from this that you need is to be created here. Okay. Any additional fields. Like,
Can you repeat that, sir?
so you have created an object. Object is a
Right.
database table. By default, that table gets created with 4 columns. Okay.
Okay.
Created by job name, last modified by owner. Okay. So these 4 columns will be there. Whatever object you create, by default, these 4 columns get created. In addition to this, what other fields you need, you will create here. So let me just think of what all other fields do I need. So what other fields do you think we need for jobs? So if jobs is the table, one is the name of the job. What other fields do I need for tracking the job details?
Who requested that job?
Who applied? Not requested, I think.
So apart from that,
The
Salary?
company name, company
on-
address.
company is the same. This is internal recruiting, so it is not some other company. But posted on which date it was posted on? What is the salary?
Maybe job role.
A minimum salary and a max salary, job role or title.
Selection process, interview type.
Okay, so let's have a job title. Okay, so this ways we can have a lot of other things, or maybe location. Okay, so this ways we can have a lot of other things. So let's go ahead with these fields only as of now. So posted on. So posted on is going to be, what will be the data type for this?
Date.
Sir, it's an integer, sir.
Date.
Will it be integer or date?
Date.
Date. What date it was posted on. Okay, so usually before we start designing application, now you understand that there is a bit of work which is to be done off Salesforce as well, right? So you need to list down microphones on mute, please. Yeah, so we need to list down things somewhere, that what are we going to design. Some sort of planning needs to be done, right? So we usually use an Excel spreadsheet, or you can take a paper and keep on writing things there, that what all fields you will create and what will be the data types. So usually we do it in this way. So jobs is the table. Think of the fields which will be required and keep listing them down like this. Name, posted on, and what is it? Minimum salary, maximum salary, job title, job description, these things. Okay, now beside this you also need to list down what will be the data type. So name is text, posted on is date, minimum salary will be what?
Integer.
Currency. There's a data type called currency here, so salary will be currency. Job title can be again text. Job description can be long text, right? Description will require a long text. So this ways, all right. Now if you think of more fields, you can just keep on listing them down, and you just keep on deciding on the data type. Now once you have done this part, life becomes easier for you. So object I have already created, fields I will have to create. Okay, so the first field, job name, has already got created. So name field is by default created, you have seen that. Okay, so out of these 4 columns which are already created by default, one is the name. So I don't need to create name. I need to create all these things as custom fields. Alright, so just come here, click on new, and so I'm going to create this field, posted on. So the data type is date. So what you have to do, you just have to go ahead and select the data type as date. Select the data type, go to next. posted on. So field label, field name, same ways. Okay. You have an option of making that field required, mandatory field. So while entering data, you must have seen some fields have a red mark beside them, something like this. So if you make it a required field, then this posted on will become a mandatory field. So they cannot create a job without giving value to this. So let's not make it required. Click on next. Here on step 3, you just have to click on visible again. So wherever you see this option visible, just click on visible and go to next for now. Later on we'll understand what exactly this is. Leave it as it is, click on save. So the field got created, posted on field has got created. Right? Created a field, posted on, data type is date. The other field that I have to create is minimum salary. So just go to next, new. What is going to be the data type here? Currency. Okay, so these are all the valid data types which are available here. You have a checkbox, currency, date, date time, email, geolocation, number, percent. So these are the things. Okay, so in this case I need a currency. Let me put a currency here. Field name will be minimum salary. Go to next. Make it visible, go to next, save it. Or you can also click on save and new. So if you click on save and new, it will take you to creating other field.
So in the place of visible, you have few fields already checked, right? But you have to make all other fields also
Visible, yeah.
visible?
Yes. So just click on the visible, everything will get selected. So max salary. Go to next, select visible, go to next, save. So we have created the fields. Alright, same way you can create more fields also here, the job title and job description and all that stuff. So my object is ready. Alright, so I've created the table. Now what is the next thing that I need? Object I have created, fields I have created. What is the next thing that I need? I need a tab here to connect to that. On the UI I need a button that allows me to connect to the object, right? As of now we are just creating things which are a part of the back end. Now I need something in the front end which will help me connect to the back end thing. So it's more like, you know, if you have installed a fan in a room, now your fan has been installed, you need a switch to operate that fan, right? Same base. So the actual object has been created, I need a tab to operate that object. So the next thing is going to create a tab. So how do we do that? We go to setup, create tabs. So under create only there is another thing called tabs. So just go ahead and click on create tabs.
Sir, one small question before we go to tabs, sir. Sir, why did we not give for name? Why did we not create a new field, sir?
Because it was already existing. So by default name field is created.
For me, it was not clear.
If you go back to the objects and if you look into
In the standard field,
there is a field called name. It is by default created. So name is a common field, right? Every object will have. So that is the reason why by default they create the name field for you. Anything else, you will create the fields. Fine.
okay, sir. Okay, go ahead.
So you have only created 3 fields, right?
3 fields, right?
Okay.
Okay. So the
Then we
same
have
way,
gone to setup.
yeah, now I'm creating the tab for it. So for tab, I'm just going to set up create tabs. Alright. So you can, while you are creating that object, you can create more fields. Think of more fields, add them and all that. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a tab for this. We'll go to new custom object tab, click on new. Okay, and we'll create a tab for this custom object. Which object? Jobs object. So select the object as job, pick a tab style. This tab style can be anything, whatever you want. It can be, so there are so many tab styles, you can pick any one of the styles from here. And then click on next. Step 2, just don't do anything, leave it as it is, go to next. On step 3, this is where you have to just understand it a little. See, it is asking that you have so many apps already there, right? One is the recruiting manager and others are also there. Sales, call center, marketing, all these apps are also there. Okay. On step 3, you have to define under which all apps you want to see this tab. So you can just remove it from all the apps and you can include it only on the recruiting manager. Your sales guy would definitely not want to see the jobs tab, right?
Right.
So we will just include it under the recruiting manager. Okay, so just keep it included only in the recruiting manager and then click on save. That's it. So your tab has got created and it has become under the recruiting manager as we included. Now your end user can go and he can click on the jobs tab and he can start entering new job data. New job, Java developer, posted on 28th January.
So you directly got the screen?
Yeah. Minimum salary 60,000, maximum salary 80,000. Click on save. Correct? So the moment you create the tab will come and appear here. Okay? Clear on this? Now the same way I have another object. Now this is one object. Okay? So as we have seen earlier in our sales app that there are multiple objects, right? There was account, there was contacts, there were opportunities, there were so many things. So the other object that I can have here is what? Candidate. So candidate details will come here. The name of the candidate, email, phone, experience, name, email, phone, experience, what else? City where he stays, state, country,
Ready to relocate.
ready to relocate, things like this. Okay, so for this again I have to first of all create the object and then create the fields. So let me first of all, before I get into that, let me just quickly think of the data types. This is going to be email, this is going to be phone, there is a data type called email. Okay, so experience can be text or
Experience is number of years.
it should be number or
Integer.
yeah, so you just make it like this, call it experience in years, then it makes sense. City can be what? City should be what?
Long integer. Sorry, long text.
Okay.
I think just text is enough.
Text.
Okay. So you can make it text, or the other option that you have is a drop down pick list. Okay.
Okay.
So pick list or text, depending on how you want to manage things. Okay.
But for that you need country before that, right?
For that you need country. So the country should also be pick list then, and this should also be pick list.
State also. state also pick list.
Yeah, so if you make it pick list, then all three of them should be pick list. If you make them
So Salesforce company will update the places and new states and new cities.
no, you have to do it.
Okay.
Okay, so I mean basically it's not, you don't have to include all the cities or all the countries there. You will just include the places where you operate, right?
Okay.
So you don't have to include everything there.
So
And
for ready to relocate, can we give checkbox as yes or no?
yeah, so you can give it a checkbox, or again you can have a pick list with an option yes or no. But checkbox seems to be a better option. So we'll use a checkbox.
Sir, in your experience, did you ever see a crazy, data type? I mean, which was not in Salesforce?
The data type, no, basically it's not crazy data type which is not there in Salesforce or something like that. Depending on the requirement, how we work is we see what all options are available in Salesforce, and then we decide on a data type based on the things which are available only in Salesforce. So you have to decide on that. And almost everything is included here. So you see, you have date, you have integers, you have emails, you have URLs, you have phone numbers, you have text, long text descriptions. So almost everything is there. Alright. So let's go ahead and start creating. So the same process again we are going to follow: setup, create, object. So the other object that I'm going to create is, the next object that I'm going to create is what? It's candidate. Save it. Now the candidate name field is by default there. I don't need to create that. I will create other fields. What is the next field? Email field. Okay. So let me just go and select the data type as email. Email data type is there. Go to next.
Sir, 30 seconds, can you put the Excel sheet and please write it down, sir?
Just take a screenshot now.
Yeah. I got it, sir. Thank you.
Okay. If you want, I can copy and put it in the, I'm putting it in the chat window. You guys can copy it from the chat window as well. Okay. So first is the email field. Let's go to next. Make it visible. Go to next. Save. Second will be the phone field.
Sir, I have a question. Can we clone object? I mean, instead of again doing everything, can we, copy something and, Sir?
But the data types are different.
Data types will be different,
Yeah.
fields will be different, field names will be different.
Okay, so, okay, sir.
So it's,
You have to clone when it is nickel.
yeah. But everything is going to be different, right? The fields that you require, the field names you require, the data types that you require. So if you clone, you will end up having more work. I mean, if there is any option of cloning, which is not there, then your job will become more difficult, right? So email, phone, experience in years. It's going to be number, right? So let's make it this way. So the other object is also ready. Now there are more fields, so you can create other fields while you are doing it. I'm not creating more fields here, so I'll keep it till here, and then the next thing that I need a tab for candidate object as well here. Okay. So once your fields are created, fields are ready, you can just go to setup, create, and then go to the tabs. Click on new custom object tab, select candidate, and select a tab style, which can be anything. Go to next. So this should also be visible only under the recruiting manager app. I don't want this tab to be available under all apps. Just go ahead and click on save. So now we have jobs and we have candidates, right? So I have another object where I can put candidate details.
Sir, what is the business idea behind asking for label and plural label, sir?
Right. So label and plural label is basically if you have, because that's an object, right? So object can sometimes display one record or it can display multiple records, right? So when it displays multiple records, then it will use the plural label there. Got that? So that is the concept.
I didn't understand.
So plural label is, most of the times used on your tab. When you create a tab for that object, the plural label is used because it can be used for displaying multiple records, right? Multiple jobs and all. So that is the reason. If it, if it is displaying 50 jobs and it just says job, then you might not like it, right? So that is the only logic there. That on the tab, when you create a tab for that particular object, it comes with a comes up with a plural label there.
Okay.
Correct? Experience he has 5 years. So now you can start tracking your jobs in this object and your candidates in this object. Got it?
Yes.
Clear on this? Now the next thing that we are going to do is create one more object. I need one more object. The job applications. So one object is for the jobs, second is for the candidates, third is for the job application. Now job application, what do you think? What all details will it have?
Roles and responsibilities.
No, job application I'm talking about.
Name,
Someone applies
name
for a
again.
job.
Okay, name.
Name, designation.
No. Job application should have two things. One is which job and which candidate. Okay. So when Nikhil applies for the Java developer, that is an application, right? So which job was applied for and who was the person who applied for that job? Got it?
Then what is name?
What is?
Then what will be name?
Yeah. So this name can be, just a name or number or ID or something. So
Reference ID. Right?
reference number sort of thing. So you can just call it application 1 or application 2 and that sort of things. Okay. But this will basically be connected to both the objects. Okay, so here the data type is going to be, so here you can just keep it as text, the name. But these two have to be relationship fields. Okay, the job and the candidate. Both these things have to be relationship fields.
So means you're saying that particular candidate applied for that particular job.
Yes. In an application, we have to track that which candidate applied and for which job did he apply in that particular application, right? So we need to track that, who is applying for which job and all, right?
Okay.
So for this, we will use a relationship field. So the data type is going to be relationship for both the cases. Okay. So let's go ahead and create this. So let's go to setup.
You mean to say data type is relationship?
Yes, data type is a relationship. Here it's not integer or anything. Here it's a relationship. Okay, the data type. So let's go ahead and create this object and create the fields as well. So create a new custom object and call it job application. And just go ahead and click on save. So now this is done. I need two more fields on this. One is a relationship with the job object and the other is a relationship with the candidate object. So just click on new field, same way. Data type, you should pick lookup relationship. So there's a data type called relationship. Okay. Select this relationship data type. Go to next. Now it will ask you related to. So because it's a relationship, so it will ask you which object do you want to relate this object to. So I want to relate it with job first. So
I didn't understand why you took that as lookup relationship.
Because that is a relationship data type, right?
No, what does it mean? I mean,
It's a relationship field basically which relates your record to the other object. Okay.
okay.
So like when you enter a contact, you have a field where you can select the account, which account is related to the contact, the same way.
Right, right.
Correct?
So here it is job application
Being related to the
candidate.
job. Yeah. Firstly I will connect it with the job and then I will connect it with the candidate.
So which makes it, so it is actually to make the job easy, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So connect related with the job. Go to next. Field name can be job. And then you can click on next. Make it visible. Rest everything is the same. Just that the data type is a relationship field. That's it. Just go to click on next. Go and click on save. Done. Now I'm going to create one more field. So this is the job field which connects it to the job object. Okay, the data type is lookup. Another field that I'm going to create is candidate, and this time I'll connect, I'll use the same data type lookup relationship. Go to next, and this time I'll connect it with the candidate. So related to candidate. Go to next. Make it visible. Go to next. Next. Save. Okay. So my third object, job application object, is ready. I just need a tab for that. So just let's go ahead and create a tab. Set up create tabs. Click on new. Go to next. Okay. Let's make this tab visible only in the recruiting manager app and then go and click on save. So here is the third tab, job applications. Okay. Now if you try to enter a job application, you will see that there are two relationship fields which we have used. So relationship field will allow you to fetch data from that object, from the job object, which record you want to relate it to. So Java developer, application name can be application 1, Java developer, candidate can be Nikhil. Okay, and you can also have a field called application date here. So which date did he apply? Correct. So now what we are doing, we are connecting it to a job, we are connecting it to a candidate. We can give an application number and we can also give an application date. Okay, and then you can have one more field in job application which is called you can have application date. The data type for that will be date. You can have status. So status can be checklist, where you can have things like interviewed, selected, not yet started, in progress, something like that. So you can have those options in the status. So what happens to that application? Got it? So this ways you can design this job application object. Status can be, what is the status of the application? He has applied, he has been interviewed. So that can be a drop down where you can update the status, right? He has made the application, then you can have a status kind of a field, whether it was interviewed, rejected, selected, or those can be, part of status. Okay. So got this? How we design an application. So we have done a very simple small application for a recruiting app, for a recruiting management process, right? Now we are able to track the jobs, candidates, and the job applications here. So the assignment for you all will be that go ahead, complete this app, try to add more fields, and if you can think of any more objects also, that is also good. Okay, so that's going to be an assignment for you. So I think that is what we are going to discuss today.